Hello, it's Chinyere again with her tax 2. So this is my tax 2 on the Good Foundation internship prediction using unsupervised machine learning. I'm dealing with the Irish data set. So as usual, first of all, I went ahead to import the necessary libraries needed to perform the tax: pandas, numpy, matplotlib, and cben. And of course, I give them the alias names. And I went ahead to read the data. This time around, I had to download the CSV file into my laptop, and I went to the downloaded option of my where I get downloads in my computer and copy the file path, right? And I went ahead and included this R you're seeing here. Why? Because if I take it out, pandas Python won't be able to read the document. So we could try it. We could try it, but I have to run this first. Then when I run this, it's probably going to give me an error message. Just give it time. Okay, so you're seeing the message is given Unicode error, right? So this R tells Python to read the document. Now let me go back and run it again. And I have my data set. Alright, so like before, I didn't bother calling for the first 5. I just ran the data, and then it gives me the first 5 and then the last 5. However, if I want to have the first 5, I could just do df for head, and the last 5 I could do df for tail. And leaving it like this, it also gives me the shape of the data set, showing me I have 150 rows and 6 columns. Let's move down. I decided to check for if I have any null values. So I use df.isNull.sum, checking for any missing values and the rest part of my cleaning, and I have none. Now I want to check for unique values as well. Unique, we check for unique values in the different columns, where unique will only check for unique values in specified column. So for my ID, I have 150 unique entries. And then each of them I have for the spatial length I have 35 unique entries. For the species I have 3 unique entries, and then it also goes ahead to give you the data type integer. So I decided to use the elbow method to find the number of clusters for k-means, right? And then I assigned a variable x to df.ilog. Now this ilog function is used for slicing. It creates a subset from a larger set. So whatever it is I'm going to get from this ilog is going to be a subset of the first data set which you've seen. And now this tells me that all the rows would come out the way it is, 150 rows. There will be no subset of rows, but this tells me there is going to be a subset of columns. Why? Because Python indexes from 0, not from 1. And I tried to just call the x to see what I'm going to have. And if I scroll down, I'll notice that I still have up to 150 rows, yeah? And instead of 6 columns, I'm having 4 columns. Alright, so I went ahead to import my k-means from Skyline cluster, and then went ahead to assign an empty list to my WCSS within cluster sum of squares. Alright, the next thing I did in preparation to visualizing my data, I went ahead called for I in range, assigned the variable k-means to the k-means cluster, just simply trying to determine the number of clusters. And I also had to fit my k-means with the x variable that I sliced from the original data. Then as well with my plot. Sorry. So I went ahead to plot, to plot this with the title elbow method, giving the X label number of clusters, giving my Y label WCSS, within clusters of sum of squares. I also went ahead to print out my WCSS and it gave me this array. Now I'm applying the k-means to a data set now, using the original formula that I got, that we had earlier written out, this formula here. Using this now to apply the k-means to data sets. Y underscore k-means is a dependent variable, so I called this forth and I got this array. Now next thing is to visualize my cluster, and I have this. Alright, so first of all, because of the cluster, I would want the different species to be grouped together, or at least to have them I want the different species to be distinguished from each other. Right, we have Irish Setusa, we have Irish versicolor, and Irish virginica, right? And also we need to get the centroid as well. I wouldn't want all of them to have the same color, so I went ahead to give them different colors. You're going to see red, blue, green. I went ahead to call the PLT scatter open brackets X, then a square bracket Y underscore k means this signifying rows and columns. Here the indexing at both 0 is still 0 for the row, then 1 for the column, and it keeps switching from 0 to 1 to 2 for the rows, where the column is constant, and then for the rows also for the second. For here the column is now constant, having 1 1 1, or that's for the indexing, whereas we're having 0 1 2 here. Went ahead to plot for centroids of a cluster. You can't be talking about cluster without having a centroid, so we got this, and then I went ahead to show my the plot, and this is what I have, showing that the centroids are yellow. So we're having centroids here. That's the center of an object, the center of the cluster. You're seeing some here, and then you're seeing some here. Alright, thank you. That's all from me with regards to this tax 2. Thank you for listening.